What if the answers that you've been searching for in life didn't live in the future, but in fact were a memory your soul never forgot?
So how would you say that quantum restoration is different from regular therapy?
Good question.
If it makes sense, because like it talks back. But with this, it feels like it's like you get feedback from yourself.
Quantum healing isn't about imagination, it isn't about fantasy, and it isn't coincidence. It's the space between lifetimes where memory, energy, and consciousness intersect. In quantum healing, we don't just ask what happened to you, we ask who you were before the pain, before the patterns, before the wounds that kept repeating without knowing why. Because trauma doesn't always begin in this lifetime. Sometimes the fear you carry, the longing you can't explain, and most importantly, the feeling that you may have been here before is just your soul remembering. Tonight we explore the mystery of quantum hypnotherapy, a state where time collapses, the ego quiets, and the subconscious begins a doorway. A doorway to past lives, a doorway to unresolved karma, a doorway to moments of death and rebirth. Our guest, Erikka Rainey, who is the host of the podcast Vision Rebirth, came to us already standing at the edge. She's a seeker, a truth teller, and someone who has spent her life not only exploring spirituality, but also near-death experiences while quietly experiencing a spiritual death of her own. She was spiraling and questioning her purpose, asking the universe why. And the universe answered.
I don't even know how on my algorithm I started seeing these near-death experiences. I remember me and my cousin was talking. Like we was talking about like how God created the earth and Adam and Eve. And I was like, you know what? I want to know because I know this wasn't over no apple for
Through
real.
quantum healing, she didn't just visit a past life, she relived the moment of death itself. And in that space between worlds, she found clarity, she found healing, and she found direction.
Yes.
Because it seems a little strange. What is QRHT at the end of the day? It's one of those spiritual practices where people don't have a lot of information about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we actually started doing this show.
I'm trying to manifest. I'm like, all right, like let's get back into manifesting positive thoughts.
The universe is saying to you, wake up. When they show you patterns after patterns, and the funny thing is most of us don't see it. And so that's synchronicities, that's patterns, and then you have to say to yourself, well, why is this happening to me? But don't understand there's underlining lessons behind you receiving these same patterns over and over again.
And like I'm genuinely tired. But what really made me hit y'all up, that night I had that dream where you were like fixing like a block.
Meaning
And so-
Janine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was like between my neck. ChatGPT was like, that is often like a sign of your heart and your mind trying to align. Yeah, I was going through something. I had finished talking with this guy and I just felt real played by him and I just was real angry about it. And so I was going through stuff internally.
So I was doing spiritual surgery on the back of your neck in your dream.
Yeah.
What emerged wasn't just understanding, it was transformation, a rebirth of identity, a recalibration of purpose, a new vision for her life and her work. Because when you remember who you've been, you finally understand who you were meant to become.
Where you had probably one of the best quantum healings that we have done so far.
I feel like I'm in like a capsule of some sort. I'm in this spacesuit. Definitely feel important. Again, this may sound crazy. I think I put the flag on the moon.
For our guest Erikka, the answer she once chased no longer brought peace. The passion that once fueled her began to feel distant. She didn't need motivation. She didn't need advice. She needed a recalibration. Quantum healing offered more than insight. It offered a reset, a chance to clear old energetic imprints, to release emotional residue carried across lifetimes.
So we help people in essence understand the synchronicities. And a lot of people, they have a tendency to overlook the synchronicities, but subconsciously they know that there is some level of repetition that's happening in their lives.
If, that's how it really is, then this is all, like if this is just learning experience, then maybe I need to chill out a little bit. I just knew I needed help. And honestly, the first time I met y'all, I knew y'all was gonna help me. I think I was just tired. I was just really tired. Tired of doing the same thing just tired. I was ready to elevate and needed to stop doing the same thing because this isn't my first podcast and I wanted to be able to finally step into whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing here.
Erikka's request for a vibrational reset was meant for her to remember who she was before the world told her who she was supposed to be. In the altered state of consciousness, her spirit realigned, her purpose sharpened, her energy shifted, because sometimes healing isn't about fixing what's broken, it's about resetting what's been misaligned. For her, that was the reset she didn't know she was searching for.
Mine is very precious to me. Mine is honestly like my favorite part of myself. I'm very careful with people entering it. Like, I don't know if y'all remember the Hypno Bro. He was traveling to all the HBCUs, Hypno Bro, calling people on stage.
You did tell us about this.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So nobody is ever gonna have no control over me like that. Like, you can't have my mind.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
But did it feel like you were watching a movie?
You know what it felt like? That
Yes.
toy that you could put on your joint and you just like,
Yes.
Yes.
like that's kind of what I think it was for me.
We're like your lawyers when you're under hypnosis. Your soul is reliving a past life.
Yeah.
So you're feeling the emotions you had in that lifetime.
Your podcast is about near-death experience.
Yeah.
And then you were actually going through the death process.
Right.
And a lot of people want to understand what happens when you get to the other side and or what that feeling is like, because we all haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah.
So,
I have.
other than you,
Well, I have.
I take that back.
I'm gonna give you a message.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, that's on your to-do list, is the balance.
Yeah.
They won't give you your success until you learn how to balance. For you to have gratitude and appreciation for every little drip drop, because what they're telling me is, regardless of what, when you get to the success, you're not going to be happy. You quantum leaped, and now you might have bypassed 2-3 years of wasting your precious time and God's time, and now you are in a space where they and your team is like, okay, she's listening to us. We're gonna start working with her to get her to the level of her manifestation.
Exactly.
ability.
Right.
Yeah, no, I want to move forward. Like I absolutely want to move forward. I'm the best client ever. I've been doing
I love it.
Listen, Erikka.
Oh my God! I wish you guys
Erikka's a
could have
character.
If any of you can rent Erikka for a day, how much you charge for rentals?
Hey, listen.
It's your favorite Twin Flames back in the building. I'm Janine, your co-host, and welcome everybody to Twin Flames Fix My Vibes, along with my other lovely co-host, Miss Keisha B.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, girl. You look beautiful today.
Thank you. You too. You
Indeed.
looking like milk over there.
Oh, milky.
Oh, nice and snowy.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
yes.
And we have a special guest today by the name of Miss Erikka Rainey. Miss Erikka is a media personality, producer, author, and creative visionary who's committed to using media as a tool for spiritual awakening and personal transformation. She is the host and creator of the Vision Rebirth podcast, a platform dedicated to sharing life-changing stories of near-death experiences, out-of-body journeys, divine dreams, meditations, and encounters with higher beings. She is also the author of Vision Matters, Lessons on How to Manifest Your Vision, a book designed to help individuals align purpose with intentional action. With professional experience across media marketing and the music business, E brings us a culturally grounded yet spiritually expansive perspective to her work. She believes media shapes how we think, feel, and live, and she's dedicated to using it to elevate awareness and inspire conscious living. And she's also our friend, so welcome everybody to the show, Miss Erikka Rainey.
Hey, welcome.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome.
Nothing. That was a mouthful.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know y'all was going to do the whole thing. I got to make it more concise. Now I know. Now I got to make it more concise.
No, but you know what? I'm glad that you did that because
Yeah.
they need to know who you are.
They need to know,
Yeah.
indeed.
You got to get your flowers.
Yeah, I mean, not yet, but
No. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
one thing that was really that everybody needs to know, we were actually on your show.
Yep.
Yes, we
Y'all
were.
We
definitely
were on your show, Vision Rebirth,
Yep.
and we had a great connection. We had a great conversation.
Yeah, y'all spoke life into me. Like, I'll never forget that.
See,
Yeah,
and look, it
y'all
brought us
did.
back together again.
Yes.
So, Erikka, what exactly would you define as your spirituality, since you have a podcast about spirituality? Tell the world about your background.
I mean, I guess the closest thing probably would be Christianity. Like, I still, I guess define myself as a Christian because that was what I grew up in. Like, I'm a Baptist kid. I was on the youth choir, praise dancing, the youth, I was in church.
Yes.
But I was never like, and thank God I never had parents that were like, you got to do this or you're going to hell. You're doing it. Like, I was never that way. I was more so like, what the pastor really talking about? Let me read it for myself because I just never really, not gonna say I trusted, but I just never really trusted what other people had to say. So obviously, so like I like to read things and figure out things for myself. And so that's kind of how I interpreted religion with Christianity. And then like I had a aunt that's Muslim. I'm from Philly, so everybody Muslim, but I have an aunt that's Muslim. So, like, I knew, like, I'm like, my aunt, she not going to hell just because she Muslim.
Yeah.
You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
And
Thank
so,
you.
like, I just knew certain things, like, sort of, like, intuitively
Yeah.
that just didn't make sense with me. But I still was raised in the church, but I had questions.
And that's exactly how we were. We
Yeah.
actually were the same. We questioned things too.
Yeah.
And I guess now at this point with you having a spirituality podcast, you explore the universe in a different kind of way. So you questioned things, right?
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Indeed.
And what was it that was like the aha moment that you felt like you needed to put yourself on this platform? Like,
You mean like starting Vision Rebirth? What was like the aha moment?
Yeah.
It was just like, honestly, it was a hole I saw. So I basically, so I was going through something.
That's how it usually is.
Yeah, I was going through something. I had finished talking with this guy and I just felt real played by him and I just was real angry about it. And so I was going through stuff internally and I don't even know how on my algorithm I started seeing these near-death experiences. And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, what are they talking about? And then, you know what? I'll rewind a little beforehand because I remember me and my cousin was talking and like we was talking about like how God created the earth and Adam and Eve. And I was like, you know what? I want to know because I know this wasn't over no apple for real.
Yeah.
And so like just talking and then I started getting videos about the Anunnaki and stuff like that. And I started getting into that and then the NDE videos. And then as I started watching the NDE videos, it kind of started like changing how I felt like about the world, about life and everything. And then that's when I saw like, okay, if, that's how it really is, then this is all like, if this is just like a learning experience, then maybe I need to chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
But I love that this is what brought us together because you talk about NDEs on your show.
Yeah.
And Keisha had an NDE experience.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah, because I started just looking up like NDEs and I saw that the people weren't actually talking to anyone. Like it was nobody that was having like conversations about it. And I felt like that's where I could come in and like ask what I felt were like real questions that like other people that maybe weren't into spirituality could gravitate to. So that's where the idea came from.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because one of the things that Janine and I are going through as two Black women in this business, it's been a little hard because of our Christian background. And we have the utmost respect for our religion, for Jesus. But we're getting a lot of flack from people who are Bible thumpers, even people who don't read the Bible, but call themselves Christians, come and attack us at times.
Right.
Have you been experiencing that with your podcast or your platform?
Yeah, but I don't really take it personally though.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I like every comment, whether you hate it, whether you like it. I like every single comment.
Yeah.
I don't care. And sometimes I'm not even gonna lie, and I shouldn't be this way. Sometimes I say stuff to sort of stir the pot, to get some more engagement. Get some more engagement. But honestly, I'm different because a lot of stuff really don't bother me, especially when you're talking about like the internet, because I'm like, these people don't know me for real. Like, I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
Like, just keep commenting, subscribe, save. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I may not be the best person for advice because it's easy to say, just don't care. But that's kind of how I feel. Like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
And we're actually on the same page. I think what happens for Jenny and I, we're like you, but we were given the assignment to save all souls.
Right.
And so when we see that one soul that is not getting it,
like,
sometimes
really?
it irks us because, like, if you only knew, that's the thing, is like, if you only knew the truth. And what the funny thing is, I can relate to a lot of those people that attack us because I used to be that person.
Right.
My theory years ago was, if it's not in the Bible, it never happened.
And you would like attack people.
No.
Like,
This is, but you gotta keep in mind, this is before social media.
Okay.
I didn't have the chance to had the, what you call, Twitter fingers and all that kind. I didn't have a chance to do it. I probably would have did it.
Yeah, okay.
But you're a pretty confident person, Erikka. And I know that even after our connection and you coming on the show, you know, I wanted to understand where you were in your life where you felt that you needed the Twin Flames to fix your vibe a little bit.
So I had just gotten, not just gotten, I was laid off in April. You know, so I'm back trying to find a job, even though like a year beforehand, that's what I had been doing all that year, like looking for a job, interview. I mean, I'm talking, I would go on interviews weekly. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I was doing. Like, even this summer, weekly interviews, like weekly. And I just, you know, I wasn't used to, you know, I'm on unemployment and, you know, I'm bougie, you know, I like to live a nice life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to say that I stopped, because when I really think about it, I'm like, man, I was at the pool, I was doing, like, you know what I mean? I have a clubhouse where I live, so but I didn't get to, like, in my head, I wanted to go to homecoming, I wanted to go to some concerts, I wanted to travel, I wanted to really be outside, and so I was like kind of upset. And then on top of that, it was the fact that, like, I've been here before. Like, I've did this before. And, like, I'm genuinely tired. And, you know, what really made me hit y'all up was, of course, like, I had that dream where I was because I'm trying to manifest. I'm like, all right, like, let's get back into manifesting positive thoughts, you know, all of that. So I know what to do, and I'm trying to do the work, but it seemed like it's not working. So I was really getting frustrated. And then that morning, like, well, that night I had that dream where you were like fixing like a block or something like that, where
Meaning Janine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that night I actually was listening to like a subconscious reprogramming video, like on YouTube.
Okay.
So like I went to sleep to that, and so it's so funny when I like went and tried to see what that meant. They was like, that's like, because it was like between my neck, and they were like, it wasn't vague. ChatGPT was like, that is often like a sign of your heart and your mind trying to align.
So I was doing spiritual surgery on the back of your neck in your dream.
Yeah. And so that day when I was coming from the gym, like I kind of had like a breakdown, not like a psychotic break. Because I text y'all in the morning. Like I was like, yo, man, all right, I give up. Like I can't do it alone. Like, because I was coming from the gym and I was listening to this Chance the Rapper song, like You Are the Light, you know the common sample, and I was listening to that and I just broke down crying, and I was just like, yo, what is wrong? Like I'm tired, like I can't do this alone, like I can't figure it out. And so that's when I was like, you know what, all right, fine, F it, like I'm gonna ask them for help. Like
so you were triggered a little bit, and you were having a moment where you knew your soul was ready for a change. And that's what a lot of people sense when they feel our show. You also, when they watch our show, but you also mentioned synchronicities. And Keish, you know, we teach people a lot about synchronicities. So tell people a little bit more about what happens when people start seeing synchronicities in their life, and what spirit is really trying to tell them.
Well, basically, the universe is saying to you, wake up. When they show you patterns after patterns, it's like, okay. And the funny thing is, most of us don't see it. That's the sad part. Most of us don't see it. Let me give you an example. It could be, you know what, let me make it plain and simple. A female that is always dating the same guy. Right. And we talk about that all the time. It's the same guy in a different suit. And so that's synchronicities, that's patterns. And then you have to say to yourself, well, why is this happening to me? And then people have a tendency to say, whoa, it's me, but don't understand there's underlining lessons behind you receiving these same patterns over and over again.
Right.
And so that's why when they come to us, we have the ability to help peel back the layers for them to understand why is this happening, where did this come from? Because a lot of times it may not even be from this lifetime.
Yeah.
It could be from another lifetime.
So we help people, in essence, understand the synchronicities. And a lot of people, they have a tendency to overlook the synchronicities, but subconsciously they know that there is some level of repetition that's happening in their lives.
And the reason why they ignore it, because there's a little voice in their head that has been giving them messages, have been giving them advice. And sometimes people, most of the time people think it's themselves. Sometimes people know it's God.
Yeah.
They know. Yeah. They like, I'm not ready to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. So they'll throw the information in the garbage, and then the patterns and the synchronicities will continue to happen. And that's why some people are sitting there for years with these same patterns to the point where it becomes normal to them.
Yeah. So. Indeed. So Erikka, when you first came to us, and we greeted you with open arms because we love working with Erikka.
Oh my God! I wish you guys could have if any of you can rent Erikka for a day, how much you charge for rentals?
Hey, listen.
Exactly.
You don't have to be a live OnlyFans.
Yes, listen, man. I should do like live affirmations for people or something, like just encouragement. Like
exactly.
Like
your personality is crazy.
Oh my God!
So when we did your sessions, because we know we do everything in a routine on the schedule. And when we, from start to finish, Erikka, you were just straight entertainment.
Yes.
Matter of fact, even when we put you under hypnosis, it was even more entertaining. So it was definitely a great experience.
So Erikka, before you came to us, did you have any reservations of doing the hypnotherapy session?
A little bit, but only because I never heard of that before. And then again, I grew up, Christian, Baptist. And even though I'm in this world, at the same time, it's a little part of me that's like, all right, this is an occult. Like, what they about to do? You about to, what? You know what I mean? That's,
we get that a lot, so it's okay.
Just, but I'm also a very paranoid person. I'm very I'm always look what they really doing? Because I look at my own self as a hustler, and so I'm always looking at what y'all, come on, what y'all really doing?
But you know what? I respect your honesty.
yes.
I respect your honesty because this is why we're actually doing this show, because we want people to understand and become more comfortable with what it is that we do.
Yes.
Because it seems a little strange. What is QRHT at the end of the day? Nobody really knows. It's one of those spiritual practices where people don't have a lot of information about it. Mm-hmm. So that's why we actually started doing this show.
Yeah, because when I came to y'all, I didn't even know what to ask y'all for. I just knew I needed help, and I knew that something was telling me y'all. Honestly, the first time I met y'all, I knew that y'all was gonna help me. But at that time where I was at, I just wasn't. I wasn't really ready to really step into everything all the way. I was kind of okay, cool. I'm doing this real quick though. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, I didn't even know what to even ask. I just knew I needed to reach out to y'all for help, and I knew that y'all could help me.
Yeah, that's interesting. So there was actually a connection from the beginning. Your soul already knew. Yeah. And a lot of people that watch us, they feel the same way. That's why they watch our show, because they know there's a connection there, that there's something that they need answered by the twin flames. Mm-hmm. So we're doing this we got big purpose here.
Y'all doing it. Yeah, y'all doing it.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask you, when we first met with you and we had our first evaluation, so to speak.
Yeah.
What place were you in at that point in your life where you had to come to us? What was happening then and there?
Well, at that point, after I had my little breakdown at when I was walking, and then I think that's when I sent y'all the email early in the morning, how can I book a consultation? What you need? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I was just tired. That's probably the first. I was just really tired. Tired of feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Tired of doing the same thing. Just tired. That really sums it up. And it was just I'm was ready to elevate, and I needed to. Stop doing the same thing, because this isn't my first podcast. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not the first time I was laid off. It ain't the first, all these things. It was just, I was so tired, and I wanted to be able to finally step into whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing here.
Yeah, some answers.
And I commend you, because the fact that you knew that something had to be done.
Yeah.
Instead of going through that like a gerbil in a wheel, just keep going and going. You just said, you know what, enough is enough, and I need to rectify this. I need to fix this. So I commend you, because a lot of people will continue for many years, and then that's when they'll say, okay, maybe something's wrong.
Yeah, nah, I'm tired. I mean, if you think, I think I've been doing it for many years, you know what I mean? But what I kind of have come to see, because I looked at my journal, and what I've come to see is that all of that, even though I was doing the same thing, it was just reps. Like, y'all remember the Karate Kid when he had him doing wax on, wax off, wax on. So I've been doing wax on, wax off all this time, and all this time I've been like, come on, like I'm tired of doing this.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's all muscle memory now. Now, you know what I mean? Like now it's like I can navigate and move better because I did the wax on, wax off all these years, the reps. Like I did that. So,
and when we did our first eval with you, we had a hard time kind of tapping into you a little bit. And I'll be honest with you. Sometimes some people it's like that. I think even though you were very charismatic, there were some things that we knew that we couldn't pick up on. But it was something interesting that happened, and I had explained this to Keisha after the fact, that when we saw you in person, it became a little bit more clear for us.
Okay.
Yes.
So when we the next step was we actually did your actual quantum healing experience, and then just being in the same room with you, then all of a sudden the floodgates kind of open. Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, we get it.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, with me, it's because, like, you know, my mind is very precious to me. Like, my mind is honestly like my favorite part of myself, my mind. And so I'm very careful with people entering it. Like, I don't know if y'all remember the Hypno Bro from college. Like, when I was in college, like, they had on every homecoming, he was traveling to all the HBCUs, Hypno Bro, calling people on stage.
You did tell us about this.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm like, nobody is ever gonna have no control over me like that. Like I you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of how I go through life, is like, you can't have my mind.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, you know, so that's why it's always very I guess like walls people say that I have up, because I'm very like who you? Like, what you trying to do? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like,
But that's why we spend a lot of time with people in the beginning to make sure that they feel comfortable around us.
Yeah.
So Keish, like in your experience, especially with Erikka, just tell everybody about what that first interaction is like when we are getting ready to gear you up for your quantum healing experience.
So it varies for us, and Janina and I had to master that part, because some people's lives are so juicy that we could be sitting there for 2 hours.
Right.
But it's supposed to be approximately an hour and a half, and I think that's what we did with you.
Yeah, really?
And
it didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like we talked long. It didn't feel
And
like
we purposely did that
Yeah.
because we didn't want to. We knew that the actual session itself, while you were under, was going to be a long time. So we didn't want to exhaust your energy. But in that hour that we spoke to you, we asked you questions. And the purpose of doing that is twofold. We try to get the left side of the brain to fall asleep, like to get the left side of the brain to tire out, because we're utilizing the right side of the brain. The left side is the intellectual side.
Yeah.
And that's what we had to do with you.
You got some time with mine. My intellectual side is
And then
there.
so that the right side could take over during the therapy.
Yeah.
I said it's twofold, because the second part of it is we're like your lawyers when you're under hypnosis. So during that process, we're asking you pertinent questions. We have our client come with questions prior to coming into our office with what they're expecting the universe to give them. So like I said, and we tell people no question is a dumb question. Please come with all the questions, because as your lawyers, we're talking to the other side. We're connecting with the Akashic Records to find out what it is in this lifetime that's causing you to feel stuck and have obstacles.
Yeah.
So that's what we do in that hour.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And for us, we take it very personal. It's very ritualistic for us. And then we also make sure that we are, we maintain confidentiality with everybody. So when you came to us that day, you know, I swear, you had probably one of the best quantum healings that we have done so far.
Yes,
I know we say that with
Yeah,
everybody.
like, damn, that was good.
I was like, don't hype me up.
That one was good.
It was
That
a
one
good
really
one.
good.
It was a good one. Matter of fact, I want to show everybody a little clip from your session. Check this out.
I feel like I'm in like a capsule of some sort. I'm in this spacesuit. Definitely feel important.
Describe space for me.
it's beautiful. I see the earth. I see the moon. I think we're on the moon actually, and we're looking at Earth from the moon and the sun. I know the name Louis Armstrong. Was that his name? That's the name that is popping up, and like I'm floating, and I see the flag. Like I see the moon, the flag on the moon. Again, this may sound crazy. I think I put the flag on the moon. That's some wild shit.
So now we have moved forward. What's happening?
Cancer is the first thing that came to my mind.
Cancer. Okay. Are you in pain?
No.
Is your family around?
There's a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little girl, and I think I'm laying in the hospital bed.
Do you know that you're dying?
I don't know. I am in the hospital bed with an IV. I just know I'm hooked up to an IV with the machine with the green lines going up and down, and something about cancer.
And what do they call you?
I know this sounds crazy. Louis. Louis.
Are you at peace?
Some regrets.
Tell me about it. What do you regret?
I feel like he regrets the loneliness. He feels real bad about the little girl. Oh, he feels really bad.
Wish he could have spent more time with her. I had more time to spend with her.
Yeah.
If you could do it over again, what would you change?
I feel like he wants to change, or he wanted, but it's like you're here now, so, and at the same time it got us where we needed to be. That's how he feels.
So that was an interesting clip. You actually, in that scene, when we did your first scene, you were in a lifetime where you were someone named Louis.
Right.
And it was kind of mysterious to us because you presented yourself as Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
And then later on, we weren't sure if you were Louis.
Well, what's the other Armstrong?
Neil
Armstrong.
Yeah. So you were either a musician or astronaut.
Well, the thing is, so like music is like my first love. Like I love music. I grew up around music. Like that's like I love music. Yeah. And I was talking to my mom, and she was just like, she thinks that I thought it was Louis Armstrong because that's what I know. Like I don't know anything about Neil Armstrong besides the moon thing, I guess. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it was weird because you actually said that you were a Caucasian man that was laying in the bed.
Yeah.
And then there was a little girl that was there. So actually during your session, during that particular lifetime, you were a man named Louis, maybe Neil, and he was dying. He was going through his death process first.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you had to learn in that lifetime, because you had specifically said you had some regret, that there was some regrets that you were having. So I found it really interesting that we went to your death first before we could even tap into some of the things surrounding that lifetime that led up to your death.
Yeah.
So in essence, that lifetime though was a beautiful experience.
Can you give us
interesting?
Can you tell us your account of how you felt during that process? Because also too, do me a favor for the audience. Can you try to describe how it looked from your end being under hypnosis? How do you remember visualizing it? Because I need people to understand it's not as scary.
Yeah, so for me, it was like I was trying to like interpret what I was seeing / feeling.
Okay.
Or whatever. And like I wasn't unconscious. Like it wasn't like no type of like I'm unconscious, I don't remember what's going on. I knew what was going on, but I was trying to like interpret it and feel it. And part of me, and I guess maybe that's my left brain, was kind of like, oh, this is crazy. Like, what?
Yes.
Like, I don't know if I said that. Did I say that in the thing? Like, oh, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. But this is what, like, cause I'm just like, what is this? You know what I mean?
But did it feel like you were watching a movie?
Sort of, yeah.
Or like you were in a movie?
You know what it felt like? you remember that toy
Yes.
that you could put on your joint and you just like,
Yes.
like that's kind of what I think it was for me. It was just like,
I love those toys.
yeah. That's what it was for me. It was. That's why I wonder, like, is it like that for other people? Because it kind of was hard for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing was rather hard for me.
And I'm glad you mentioned the emotion part.
Yeah.
Because people have to understand when you're in that state, your soul is reliving a past life.
Yeah.
So you're feeling the emotions you had in that lifetime. And it's hard as Erikka seeing this storyline and you're trying to connect the dots like, okay, am I really feeling this? Am I not feeling
like,
this?
am I tripping? Like,
So,
yeah.
And so going back to what Janine was asking you about the dying process and the little girl in the room with you, do you remember the emotions? Can you reflect on the emotions, how you were feeling?
I just knew that it was sad. Like, it was just like a sad environment. Like the little girl sitting there, like, holding her little stuffed animal. And then like, I guess me or the guy or whatever, like on the bed, like with the green lines going.
Okay.
It was just like a sad, like the vibes was sad. Like it was like sad vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all the way.
Well, you know what? I find it interesting too because your podcast is about near-death experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you were actually going through the death process.
Wow, yeah. I didn't
So,
get that,
so there's a lot of people, that near-death experiences, they get a lot of hits on social media.
They do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people want to understand what happens when you get to the other side and or what that feeling is like because we all haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah.
So,
I have.
well, other than you.
Well, I have.
I take that back. But with that being said, being that now that you were on the other end of it, you had actually experienced what it was like to go through the death process.
Yeah.
So tell everybody, like, how did that feel for you? Because a lot of people think that it's scary, and Keisha and I have both done our own quantum healing.
Yeah.
But you're actually pretty calm, at least from my experience. So tell me, how did it feel for you?
I just remember like a real sad and tired feeling. Like it was just like sad and tired. Like nothing hurt. Like I didn't feel no pain from, whatever it is that, he was going through. But I just felt like the emotion of like sad and just tired.
Did you feel like it was too early for you to leave at that point?
I don't remember.
And when you saw the little girl, because she was
The little girl was kind of like the focal point.
Yes.
And
for
that was
me.
actually your granddaughter, correct?
Well, I don't know. When I looked up Neil Armstrong later, he actually had a daughter that passed from cancer in 1962. And they said that after she passed, he was never the same again. Like he just threw himself into his work and was like, that was it for him or whatever. And so I kind of think, I don't know. I kind of think it was the girl actually dying. I don't know if it was him, but that's just how I was interpreting it maybe. I don't know. But when I saw that, I was like, it makes sense because the focal point wasn't even really him dying. The focal point was the little girl. Like the focal point was like, it was just like, I just kept on looking at that little girl and I was just like, this is sad.
And
like,
the regret part that you mentioned, what was the regret that was had in that lifetime?
Like regret that he wasn't there the way he was supposed to. The regret that, he just wasn't present, like he wasn't really like living life the way he was supposed to be living it.
Yeah.
Like regret.
So I just got a quick message for you. Did we ever discuss in your post session, can't remember, how that regret reflects in your lifetime now?
I think we did a bit. I know I interpreted it as like, because I used to be very like a workaholic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I used to be very like, gotta get this done. You know what I mean? And not really kind of looking up to smell the flowers, so to speak.
Yes, because that's the message I just got for you.
Yeah, so that's
as a reminder.
Yeah, that's how I used to be. And so I think that was the kind of message.
Oh, they talking to me.
And we actually
they talking to me.
But I remember we did talk about it because it's something we do readdress at the end of everybody's scene. But we did mention balance.
Yeah.
So that plays into it, having balance and understanding that, there's a yin and yang to everything.
I'm going to give you a message.
Yeah. Okay.
So you went through that in that lifetime.
Yeah.
And that obviously that's on your to-do list is the balance.
Yeah.
They won't give you your success until you learn how to balance.
So I learn how to balance.
Meaning, starts really smelling the roses.
Yeah.
If you're brushing your teeth, appreciate the fact that you have teeth in your mouth.
Yeah.
I remember a shaman said he appreciates every moment of each day because if you're missing your leg, then now you're gonna regret the fact that you were able to walk from your bedroom to your bathroom.
Yeah.
So it's the little things that you have to pay attention to the point where it's kind of neurotic for you to have gratitude and appreciation for every little drip drop. Because what they're telling me is, regardless of what, when you get to the success, you're not gonna be happy.
Yeah, no, I know. Listen, I've been doing the work. Like I'm the best client ever. I've been doing the
I
homework.
love it. I love it.
I know last time when we talked, I made my score a little lower because y'all told me a block. Y'all kind of triggered like a block that I had. But now I worked on it and I think I'm back at 80, 90.
Okay, good.
I be doing it.
Then with that, since the quantum healing, can you give us examples how you are balancing things out?
Yeah, man. I was always laid back, but like, I really do appreciate things. Like I really be, I be doing my meditations. I'm Zen-y now, so
Zen-y.
I do a lot of my meditations and I just notice like small things. Like sometimes when I'll get a little like antsy, I'll be like, well, you know what? Thank God I have this. And then I'll look around and I'll be like, you know what I mean? I look around for real and I'm like, Erikka, like you tripping. Like you got a pool here. You got this. You got friends. You got family. Like everybody having fun. Like I just really look around and I'm like, I'm really blessed and I have been. So
yeah, and continue on that path because it's more of you focusing on yourself and loving yourself and just even if you take yourself out for a massage, little things like that, because what the message you're giving to me is that the path that you're on, the level that you were before the quantum healing, when you get the success, you won't even notice that it's success.
Yeah.
Right.
You're gonna keep reaching and reaching and reaching to the point that one day,
be like that.
and then you're gonna be in that same position with like the old man that you were with the little girl in the room and having regrets.
Like Scrooge. This the first Christmas that I have not said like bah humbug and like felt like Scrooge. Like I haven't.
Excellent.
Yeah. Like I
Excellent.
haven't really felt like that.
And that's why I love
Yeah.
our quantum restoration. It's so different than how other people do their quantum healing.
Yes.
Because we are going to, and one of the things you talk about all the time, Keish, you talk about the to-do list.
Yes.
Yeah.
The to-do
And this
list.
is how this all plays in together. And this is
Yes.
why we're teaching people about this, because
Yes.
everybody has to understand why they came here in the first place.
Thank you for bringing that up.
And you brought up
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, and you really brought up this great concept of having people understand what the to-do list is all about.
Yes.
And for people that want to learn more about the process of the to-do list, you can join us on our Soul Circle right now on Patreon.
Join
The
that.
Janine and Keisha Twin Flames Patreon. We are teaching everybody about the to-do list. And Keish, you are amazing in describing what the to-do list is all about. And just tell everybody just a little bit about the to-do list.
So the to-do list is basically why you came to Earth.
Yeah.
Is why are you here? When we do the QRT, we get to go into your previous lifetimes to figure out what you have to do in this lifetime to help. Because what happens is people say to us all the time, well, how do I know what's on my to-do list? So either you can do transformational life coaching with us, you could do or you could do the QRT with us. And in both those realms, you find out what is on your to-do list. And people must understand is that that's why you came. You are supposed to, from the time you land on this planet to the time you leave, those boxes should be checked off. Most of the time, not all the time, people have an average of 5 things on their to-do list. Now, the question is, what happens if you don't check off all the boxes? Right. Most of the time, people choose to come back. It's a choice. Most of the time, people choose to come back, and the average soul has been here 50 times.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, that may not sound a lot to you, but on the other side, they're getting pissed. They are getting livid.
They're tight with us.
And they said some people are here 100 times.
Wow.
And they say you guys are wasting bodies. That's think of somebody saying you're wasting bodies.
Are you wasting bodies?
Yeah.
So their thing is, God wants you to win. And when he said he wants you to win, he wants you to be able to check off all those boxes, go back, have a victory dance and say, I did it. I conquered Earth. Because you have to graduate from the school of Earth.
Exactly.
You have to. That's mandatory.
And that's why, when you came in, you had a little bit of reservation, maybe because you didn't understand that that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So here you are.
Yes.
And now you have done your quantum restoration. And I think that is really, this is just like, it was just so powerful because, Erikka, you now have such great insight now. You're able to look at things from a bird's eye view and understand what you had to fix. So with your to-do list, this to-do list concept, tell everybody now where you are right now in this moment after doing your quantum restoration.
Like with the to-do list?
Yes.
Well, you know balance is on there.
Oh,
Balance
I
is
think
on
I'm
there.
doing good. Like I said, I think I got like an 80-90. Like, I'm checking it off. I'm like, pop. Like, I'm checking it off. I feel like I'm checking it off. Like, I feel like I'm checking it off.
And you know what? Before you answer that, I'm sorry. The test.
Yeah.
You've been constantly tested. And people must understand that you going weekly for jobs.
Yeah.
You going through the trials and tribulations is the test.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that. So on the to-do list, in order to check the boxes off, you have to go through multiple tests. It's like going through chapters in a book. And so your test was you understanding that you have to balance things out and appreciate the little things around you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I've been doing well. Like, my energy is up. Y'all can't tell. My energy
We always can tell.
I feel good. Like, the other day I did 20 minutes and did a 1.5 miles. Like, I'm about to glow up. I'm about to get Invisalign. I'm about to get locks. Like, I'm going like 10 pounds. Like, I'm because I'm going to be on TV next year.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
I'm about to like glow up. Like, I feel good. And the thing is, like, I know it's important. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know that really, I mean, that's cool. That's great. But like, what really honestly is important to me is like the people that surround me, my family, my friends, people that I come in contact with, doing stuff like this. Like, that's, that's important to me. Everything else I know, like, that's honestly for my ego. Like, I know it is, but I'm balancing it. Like, I'm trying to, like, I'll tell you this one thing that happened to me the other night, which was crazy. Like, y'all know y'all told me to talk to Metatron, right?
Yes.
So, like, the other night.
And Metatron is your ascended master. I had.
The ascended master.
Yes. I had picked up on the fact that you were supposed to work with Metatron.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you are doing so, right?
Yeah. So the other night I was up. It was like 3:00 in the morning. I don't know. I was up. And so I was like, let me do a Metatron meditation or something. Right. And so I did the Metatron meditation and then I turned it off. And like, as soon as I like closed my eyes, I started seeing the symbol, like the Metatron symbol.
Yes.
And then the kind of like the same thing that happened during the quantum healing, I started seeing like these pictures, like just like these different pictures of like things going by. It was really fast, but it was like these things going by. And I was like, what is going on? And then I went back to my phone and, it was 444. It was, it was 444.
Yeah.
And then I started having this thought and conversation, I guess, I don't know, about humility and what the difference, like, how can you, because I started thinking about like how can you be confident and still humble? Because, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sort of struggling with that.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have a hard time balancing that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you learn from that?
So basically it's like understanding that I'm being entrusted with something and it's not me. That's, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I be thinking it's me that's so profound. Like,
Yeah.
'cause I be saying some profound
That's
stuff.
the ego.
Right, removing the ego.
Right. And so I be thinking it's me that's saying like these profound things and that things are happening to me. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, you're being entrusted with a lot of this. And then I started thinking about the difference between David and Saul in the Bible or whatever, and how Saul, like, he essentially let his ego took over. Like, he stopped listening to Samuel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the prophet, and everything got taken away from him. And David, on the other hand, he was still like, he had a heart for God and he was trying to listen and trying to figure it out. And then I started thinking about Diddy and how it's the same thing. Like, they let their egos take over,
They
and
did.
then it's about everything they want and trying to fulfill that and not fulfill God's purpose for you and like the
Exactly.
higher purpose. And so I just started
Yeah.
thinking about those things and
Mhm.
like had a conversation with ChatGPT, and I was just like, well, we're supposed to
And
do that.
finish it off with ChatGPT.
Yeah, like I was just like, but that's kind of what I learned though. Is like you're being entrusted with this. It's
Yeah,
not
I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that because
Yeah.
what's one of the things that we always say to each other? This is bigger than us.
It's bigger than us.
And one time I was meditating and they said to me, and when I say they, the universe said to me, we don't need y'all.
Right.
We
Yeah.
picked you.
Picture.
So
Yeah.
that's so deep because there's billions of souls on this planet. And the fact that they entrusted you
Yeah.
with this assignment, they
Yeah.
could have went to your neighbor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a whole
Yeah.
rewiring that happened.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really, I love this. I'm telling you, this is
Yes,
like this is big. This is
Yeah,
big
no,
stuff
yeah,
because
it
you
is.
already have a big personality,
Yeah.
and then for you to have to understand, become more aware that you have so much more potential spiritually.
Yes.
This is big stuff.
Yeah.
And this is why we're trying to
Yeah.
make this connection so people understand when you go through the restoration process, you're not just restoring the emotions that happened with yourself, with your trauma and your triggers that we're trying to help people fix.
Yes.
But all of it ties into your vibration.
Yep.
You
Yes.
just said that now you're living happier. And I didn't
Yeah.
say this is coming from somebody
Yes.
that had it,
yeah,
right?
no, yeah.
And then on top of that, now it has opened up your spirituality even more.
Yeah.
And would you
Yeah.
say that you're a little bit more intuitive? Because it seems like you are.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm definitely getting there. I definitely have like more to go, but it's definitely opened me up a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely seeing so many numbers at this point. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing like 333, 321. I always saw 251. It's but everything it seems to be sort of saying when I do the interpretations of it is basically saying like trust, like you're being guided, you have support, we're
Yeah.
here, like you know what I mean, like don't.
And that's for everyone.
Yeah.
People need to understand.
That's the thing, like, everybody
everyone
has
that
it.
same
Yeah.
support system.
Yeah.
I remember talking to a Christian lady, and she was like, "You're not supposed to use a spiritual team. You have God." I'm like, "Well, who do I wanted to say, excuse my French, who the hell do you think gave me the spiritual team? God."
Right. Yeah.
And so she was like, "You're not supposed to tap into that. That's voodoo." And I'm like, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
That's one of our biggest challenges, I
Yeah.
would have to say, is having to deal with, I just say Bible thumpers, but it's
Yeah.
true. People that are overly religious, that aren't open to new things, it
Yeah.
makes it a little bit hard. But
yeah.
Yeah.
and you, from your perspective, as someone who also has a podcast, and I know we already talked about it in the beginning, but just touch on it again. Like, some of the things that you have to overcome when you're dealing with people who just aren't in alignment with the way that you think.
I mean, you can't take things personal. Like I don't really take a lot of things personal from people. And then you also just kind of got to realize where people are. Sometimes like something I'm learning is to be like, okay, and move on. Like and not even like feed into it because some people aren't ready to hear it, and
That's
some
true.
people it's you're just wasting your breath, and so it's like, okay, it's cool, like God bless you.
That is a very, very strong point, because that's one of the things that Keisha and I had to learn on this journey is accepting people where they are.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
even if people may watch 10 minutes of our show, then maybe that's all the soul wanted and needed at that moment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then, and just like how we do our quantum healing, we give everybody a recording.
Yes.
And there'll be a lot of things that may come up in your session that you may not be ready to hear. Because one thing about the subconscious, and we're going to get to it in a second,
yeah.
your subconscious comes through in the end.
Yes.
And when we talk to the subconscious like airs out your dirty laundry.
In a loving way, though.
In a loving way.
And that's another, like, when I describe to people what, the process, I think that part right there, they be like, "Oh, okay, I'll keep you posted."
People really don't want to know their problems for real.
That is very
they
true.
Don't really want to know.
Or they don't want you to know their problems.
True, yeah.
And we tell people this is, like HIPAA in the medical field. Like, we do not tell your business to anyone else.
Yeah.
This is between you, us, and the universe.
Yeah. And all of it is about universal timing. So when
Yes.
you're ready to hear certain things, it'll resonate differently.
Yeah, it will.
Mhm.
I kind of look at it because it's like therapy to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I like therapy. Like I had took, regular therapy years ago, and I like that. I got to get everything off my chest. This person I ain't know. I could be like, this person get on my nerves. This person get on my nerves. I could say whatever, and like they, so, you know what I mean. So it felt good to like just get everything off my chest, because like I don't really, even though it don't seem like it, I really don't say much a lot of the time. Like, you know, I don't really
you hold things in.
Yeah. So
how would you say that quantum restoration is different from regular therapy?
Good question.
I would say, if it makes sense, because like it talks back, if that makes sense. Like, you know, like with a therapist, I think you know, you're getting everything off your chest, and your therapist may give you some tools to be like, well, this is how you can handle it. Da, 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 da. But with this, it feels like it's like you get feedback from yourself. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. And so it's, I guess depending on what the message is, it might be easier to swallow. It might be harder to swallow. But it's like, for me, because it was coming from me, it was easier to swallow. Yeah. Because I listen to myself.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Because the subconscious can be raw.
Yeah.
Lovingly raw, but they're raw.
Yeah.
And your subconscious was hilarious.
Yes.
A comedian.
Straight comedian. I wish we could show the audience, but we know that it's a little personal to you, so we're not going to delve into it too much. But your subconscious had definitely had some attitude and some personality.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And what was some of the things that your subconscious addressed with you during your session?
The whole listening piece, like the listening piece, like I really try to like internalize that, because like, you know, that is said, like, you don't listen to nobody. And then like my mom and everybody like, yeah, you don't. And I'm like, okay, like, you know.
But you know what it was? You knew that already.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, but I feel like sometimes I listen, like, I ain't that bad. You know, I listen sometimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand, she was taking her test and she kept failing. So they kept testing her over and over again to start listening.
As a matter of fact, I think your subconscious might have brought that up too.
Right. Like, but that, I guess I really tried to, now I really try to listen. Like, I really try to take what other people are saying and try to be like, okay, like, I'm gonna listen. Like I try to, that's probably like the biggest piece of it, because, I want to elevate, it's talked about if I listen, I can, get my powers, and, I want to tap into that a little bit. So,
but I like the fact that you're saying that you wanted to elevate, because that shows acceptance and your willingness to want to participate and heal and grow and evolve. Yeah. And that's where people get to this point where they're willing to try out quantum restoration.
Yeah. One of the obstacles we have, not obstacles, because we plant seeds. For you were a breath of fresh air, because you went running after that. You was like, all right. You even texted us a couple times later. It was like, all right.
And she gave herself a new personality. Zen-E.
We had some people, they get it, like say they get in January. They might not tap into it until June.
Yeah, no, I need.
But it's a plant. The seed is planted during the QRT, and then the universe starts taking over and saying, hey, don't forget. So, but with you, like I said, it was a breath of fresh air, because you was like, all right, I'm working on this now. I need it. Even when you were walking up our office, you like, all right, I'm getting this done, because I got things to do.
Yeah, like I'm like, I don't want to just waste things.
And I want to emphasize to people, that's why it's called quantum restorative technique. The quantum part is, if you didn't come to us, you probably would have been like a dog chasing his tail for another couple years.
Yeah.
But because you came to us and had that session, now what's the word, the best way to say it, propelled you into the next chapter.
Quantum leap.
You quantum leaped, and now you might have bypassed 2-3 years of wasting your precious time and God's time. And now you are in a space where and your team is like, okay, she's listening to us. We're going to start working with her to get her to the level of her manifestation abilities.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then there was something else. I need people to understand too with the QRT is that, most of us have obstacles. Oh, not most of us. All of us have obstacles. All of us. And like I said, the to-do list, the School of Earth, that's why you came here. Mm-hmm. And if you do not do something, if you don't work on yourself, the key word is discipline.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about you. You discipline. You're like, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to do this. And not to say everyone has to be like Erikka, but you have to stand up and say, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to make sure my life's mission is accomplished.
Exactly.
So you what is that called? Accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah.
And you didn't have any fear after that, right? You didn't have any fear or obviously no lack of desire to not want to move forward, but there was no fear when it came to you wanting to move forward, right?
Yeah, no, I want to move forward. Like I absolutely want to move forward. There's no like, oh my gosh, like what? Like I'm over that. Like I did that already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I told y'all, like in my journal, like I literally have been talking about the same stuff. Like in my journal, it mentioned like, I know, like, to get to the next level, I need to get over unforgiveness, and I know.
So I'm glad I was sitting there. So we're gonna talk about forgiveness next, because that was like, your other lifetime.
It said that. Like I said that, and like I think I wrote that in maybe 2018 when I was looking at my journal, and I was like,
so so you are a prime example. We're talking about. People are getting the messages over and over again. They keep taking the same test over and over again. And then when I say the same test, it's the same theme. Yeah. But God gives you so many different chances. He gives it to you in different scenarios. So you were given different scenarios to forgive people and forgive yourself. And you more than likely you kept failing. Yeah. Because you wrote it in 2018 and it's 2025 and you are now mastering that.
Yeah. It was saying a lot. It was saying about, I was saying like, you know, I'm struggling with unforgiveness and comparison, and I had some anger there. I also, in one of them I wrote, you know, I have to stop wearing this mask. I said,
yes.
This is some profound. I was like, yo, Erikka in 2017 was rolling, let's writing. And I was like, how am I supposed to find my soulmate when I'm hot in my soul? Ooh, I know. I wrote that in like 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I was just like, so all this stuff has been in me. And I think, you know, the ancestors, everybody been nudging and working with me for a minute, because I have been like sort of doing the same thing for years.
Correct.
So this quantum healing, I think it first on a subconscious level, because my dreams immediately started changing after the quantum healing. It started changing quickly. Like a lot of my dreams were fear-based and, you know, working with, you know, feeling unsupported and boundaries and all of that. But after the quantum healing, those dreams started to be more integration in me. And in those dreams, I started speaking up. In those dreams, I started doing things differently. So I was getting out of the, you know, these are the issues into like, okay, you've healed that part. Now let's go to the next part, because everything has to be healed subconsciously before consciously you can go out into the world and do it.
So let me ask you a question. Did you have any issues with wanting to face your problems? I know somebody looking at this show may say, well, if the mirror was being put in my face, then, and I may not be ready for the information, and then you may have some fears. But, and I know we brought up the fears just recently, but you didn't have any issues wanting to face some of the things they brought up in the subconscious, right?
Yeah, no, because it's been things that I had been struggling with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think my issue was I didn't know what to do. It's like, it's here. I see the problems here. Like I kept on writing it in my journal, like years and years. And I just didn't know what to do. And even in my journal, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, hey, some God, like I literally write that, hey, God, somebody just tell me what I need to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and would you say that some of the information that you got, you'd heard it already?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's it. That they're always talking to us, but we just have to start listening. And a lot of times people don't know how. They don't really know how to listen.
Yes.
But if you work with Keisha and I, we'll teach you. We'll teach you some of those things.
And I wanted to mention that with QRT, it opens a gateway. And this is very important for people to understand. This is actually a gift that you get when you do this session, because this is very sacred. I need for all of you to understand, even those who are highly religious. We've had many people who are religious that came to us, and they have said this is God. What happens is, because you do this session, you are actually telling God, I'm ready to work. Yeah. That's why your dreams started changing. Yeah. Because it's like a rite of passage. And we tell people that gateway, that rite of passage is open temporarily, but you can keep it open as long as you want. But for those people who, like I said, if they had the session in January but don't tap into until June, that quantum leap may not be as intense like for you that it would be for somebody who decided to wait 6 months.
Right.
So I need for people to understand, like, when you do come to us, it's a gift, and it's going to be like the universe is going to be coming to you like a welcome home party.
Exactly.
Yeah, it definitely opens something up. And then honestly, the crazy part is like before all of this, like I had been sort of like studying like the concept of quantum leaping. Like me and my friends, like I would talk to my friend. I'm like, yo, I'm about to quantum leap. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was watching this Apple TV show. I think it was called like Grey's Matter or something like that, where he actually like ran into his other self from another life and everything. So I had been sort of absorbing information, and I think that was honestly one of the questions that I asked when I came into the quantum session at first was like, how can I quantum leap? Like I'm trying to.
But
it was one of your questions.
Your subconscious like, don't worry about it.
Tell Erikka to mind her business.
Just work on the basics first.
Yeah, like I'm trying to like.
You all over the place.
Yeah, like and all that because what I really was trying to do was escape. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, all right, like, it sucks here, Earth. Like, I want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be like, you just want to escape because you don't like what's going on.
Yeah.
You know? And that's essentially what I thought. Honestly, I thought that was going to happen. I was trying to
escape
leap.
You were trying to escape the to-do list.
Yeah, I was trying to quantum leap into something else. I was like, let me quantum leap into something else.
I don't want balance. I don't forgive. I don't want to forget myself. I just want to go to the other side.
Yeah, give me the
leap and have my success.
Right. Yeah.
But your subconscious was so funny because your subconscious was just like, tell Erikka to stop trying to control everything.
yeah, that's
what they're trying to say. Tell us to sit ass down somewhere.
Yeah, that really was, because that's what I'm learning too. Like trying to know everything is just like another form of control. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, dang, that's right. Like that's just a form of me trying to tell God what to do and control everything.
Yeah,
again,
But you know what it was? You just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And that's why it's very important for people to watch shows like this.
Yeah.
And that's what we call it Truth Be Told Conversations and Twin Flame Fix My Vibe.
Yeah.
Because you are getting raw information that's real. And a lot of people are walking around with blinders and don't know why they keep hitting the wall over and over again.
Yeah.
And they just, to the point where they have all these bruises on their face and their foreheads because they don't understand that your way is not working.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I was obviously a very reflective person because I was still talking about these same concepts years ago. I just didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that I, like, when I'm reading my journal, I'm like, man, like, I was like, this was when I was like in my 20s and like teenager, and I'm just like writing all these thoughts down, and it's like I had these great concepts. I just didn't know, like, all right, like, what now? Like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So,
It was beautiful. But to top it off, you ended up having some family members come through in the end.
Yeah, that was nice.
And we love to do that, especially when family members are present. Sometimes they're not present. It's not guaranteed for everybody. Yeah. But you had quite a few family members that came through.
Yeah.
And you had family members come through who you only knew for a short amount of time in your life.
Yeah.
And how was that experience for you?
So during it was weird because, like I said, I wasn't unconscious. So it felt like I was like, am I acting? Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it felt like during it. Like, a part of me wanted to be like, all right, y'all tripping. Keisha, Janine, come on. Like, come on. Like, what we doing here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, a part of me really wanted to say that. Like, because y'all was just talking back to him. And I'm like, and I know this sounds weird because it still was me, but they were communicating through me.
They were channeling through you.
Yeah, but me, I was still thinking. And like, I'm like, all right, Janine, Keisha, like, y'all tripping. Like, all right, jigs up. Like, but I didn't. Like, and I'm like, what? So that's why, like, when y'all took me out of it, when I came back, I'm like, all right, y'all, like, what happened? Like, for real, like, come on, it's me.
Yeah.
Like,
we had to keep reassuring her this really happened. Yeah. But the part I love was that you had two grandmothers that came through. One was called Nana.
Yeah, my Nana and my grandma.
And I think it was your grandma.
It was, who called her Kit.
Yeah, she's like, hey,
Yeah, that was my grandma,
But
yeah.
she let me hear her voice. I was sitting there and I heard this woman's voice. It was very loud in my ear.
Yeah.
And then when she came through and channeled through you, it was the same exact voice. I was like,
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jenny was like, what's going on? I
Yeah,
was like,
she's hitting me.
I'm like, that's her. Get off of me. So she was in the room most of the time, I guess.
Yeah. Y'all, you know what? On one of the people I interviewed, like they said the same thing. They was like, yo, your grandma has been standing here this whole time, like talking to me. Basically was saying that you going through some internal stuff right now, but after you finish that, you're gonna be able to astral travel and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. Like,
wow.
So I think my grandma has been like trying to like communicate.
I've been feeling energy in this room.
Yeah, she's here now.
Yeah, I've been feeling energy in this room.
Yeah, I think she's been trying to communicate a lot. Because I mean, even I went to the near death experience conference in Chicago, IANS or whatever, and like this random guy I had sat next to, and we got to talking. And he just looked at me and he was just like, like, your ancestors are so proud of you.
Wow.
Like, he was like, there's a lot of pride in you or whatever, like, and pride surrounding you. And he was like, they want you to be bold and they want you to step into it because you got it. Like, he was like, they worked so you can flourish. Like, you got it. Like, it's in you. Like, you have it. Like, he started tearing up and everything. Like, I was like, wow, okay. Like, I started tearing up too because I'm like,
because he was channeling that energy more than likely.
Yeah. So like they, have definitely been trying to. Then my Nana, I don't remember it because I was 3, so I don't remember it. But my Nana, she used to come to me when I was little or whatever. Like when I was little.
You mean her spirit used to come to you?
Yeah, that's what my mom and them said. Like, they said that, my mom, she has this experience when I was in my room, 3 years old. My mom said she was looking for me around the house. She couldn't find me, and she said I was in my closet. And she was like, hey, like, what are you doing in here? And I was like, playing with Nana. And my mom was just like, okay, well, I'm going to be downstairs if you need anything.
That is funny as hell. But you know what? We asked your grandmother if that was her, and she confirmed that was you were actually speaking to her.
Yeah. So like they, so I've always, I think everyone has it, especially when they're young. But I've always just had that ability to do it, apparently.
Let me ask you, do you feel like we feel energy in this room right now? When you're at home meditating, do you feel energy around you?
Sometimes I have been starting to feel the, how you said, like the
goosebumps.
like that story I told y'all about Metatron. Yeah. When that was happening, like I was feeling like goosebumps on my
Does your crown
arms.
chakra ever open while you're meditating? Do you feel like a heaviness?
Headache.
Yeah. Like right now I got a headache.
A little. It's starting to happen. It's starting to happen because I think during that story I was telling you about, like it was happening then. Like a headache. Like I started getting this headache, and then because I remember because I closed my eyes and then I was seeing, the symbol and then the pictures, and I'm like, yo, am I tripping? And so I opened my eyes and like I'm like, all right, like, and then I closed my eyes and it was happening again, and it was almost like, so them nights where you come home, had something sip, and you know how you close your eyes and you busy. So that's how I was like feeling. I was like, yo, am I tripping? Like, so, but it wasn't like, it was real, like the visions. It was just like.
You have an assignment. I want you to start looking up videos on psychic mediumship because you have the gift of psychic mediumship. We all do, actually.
Right. Yeah.
But specifically you, because of all of this that you're doing, and for you to you want to astral plane and all of that.
Yeah.
I need you to start looking up, because psychic mediumship is unique to each person. It's customized. And one of the things that they're showing me for you is that they want you, your family, your ancestors want to be able to communicate with you better.
Yeah.
That channel between you and them is there's some blockages. And what's going to happen is once that blockage is removed, the messages you're going to get is so much clearer to the point where like you can be able to put a blindfold on and walk down a hallway and the information and navigate.
Yeah, I feel like that's coming because I honestly I had a seer on the other day on the pod, and she had gotten this message about like is nothing to fear. And like that's kind of what I'm struggling with now a bit, is that, you know, they're like, they can't, like, there's nothing to fear with that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm not trying to see nobody walk across my living room.
Yeah, so
you
if
know what I mean?
what you do is
You gotta tell them.
You gotta tell them what you want and what you
Yeah.
don't want.
Yeah.
So there's different for you. What they're showing me is the knowing and the seeing through your third eye. So they want you.
I think that's what was happening to me that night. Like, I think that's what was happening to me. Like, I was starting to see through my third eye, because I mean, I was really seeing something, and like these visions just kept on. It was like.
Let me ask you a question. If you ever were talking like to your girlfriend and you was giving her some advice, have you ever had a moment where they would reflect? They would show you a moment that you went through, and that's how you were able to give her that advice. Like they would reflect. Like, don't forget that time you fell on the ground. Like you'll get a vision of.
I don't know. You know, that's a good question. I don't know if it's specific. Like, I don't notice if it's specifically that, but like I always kind of can find like something to relate.
So
you know
okay,
what I
so I
mean?
need you to understand that's part of psychic mediumship, and that's the part I didn't know was psychic mediumship.
Right.
It took me a long time. I'm like, oh, I thought we all did that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I be like, that's what I'm learning now. Like, I didn't like. I'm thinking like, oh, like everybody do it. Like, it's just normal.
No.
But
like my daughter called me up one day. She was panicking. She couldn't find her hairbrush that I had borrowed, but it had been a couple days since I had used it. So she was like, "Mom, where's my brush?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Did you check your drawer?" She's like, "No." So I stood there, and then they showed me they flashed a picture of her brown bag in my mind.
Okay.
And then I said, look in your brown bag. She said, I looked in it already. And then I said, no, that's what they're showing me. And then she looked in the brown bag and it was there.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes it's just flashes and you don't even know that's what it is.
I think that's what probably has been happening. Like, I don't be knowing like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's why she's saying definitely try to study it a little bit more. And I remember your subconscious did say that you were going to start getting gifts that were going to start developing a little bit more.
Yeah,
correct?
He said I was a seer.
Yeah.
I was a seer. And I really just started to accept that. Like, I've accepted that that's what it is. Because I feel weird. Like, even the whole light worker thing, like, I feel like I still do feel a little weird saying, but I just been stepping into it like, all right, well, I'm a light worker.
Yeah. But a lot of times people don't really truly understand what the concept is.
Right.
And being a light worker, at the end of the day, we all have gifts. It's just whether or not you're going to accept it and tap into it and exercise it, right?
Yeah, because it's like a muscle.
Yeah, it's like a muscle. But being a light worker is somebody that just carries this vibration about themselves.
Yeah.
And now that your vibration has increased, now you have to spread your light. Yeah. So think of it like I like to think of it as like a lava lamp. So when you have the lava that, blobs go up and down. So when you're sitting, when the energy is kind of drawing up, you have to bring everybody else's energy up with you.
Yeah.
So you being somebody that has a high vibration and carrying the light in the way that you do.
Yeah.
Just be aware that you have the ability to affect people around you.
Yeah.
So that's what being a light worker is. And then most importantly, when you start living in your purpose, and I would know we've said this several times on our show, as you start living in your purpose and you are happier, then people are going to gravitate to you just because you are doing something that makes yourself happy. That energy spreads automatically.
Yeah.
So just be mindful. Just be mindful. You are 100% a light worker.
Yeah. I've been stepping into it. Like you said, next year is a year of the horse. So, I definitely feel that. They said this was like the snake, so shedding and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2025 was an interesting year.
It was.
Yeah.
So going back to your ancestors really quick, now you had two grandmothers that came through.
Yeah.
And I know you just spoke about your mom not too long ago. Was your mom able to share this experience with you? Did you tell her about your quantum restoration?
Yeah, she loved it. She was like, that was powerful.
Wow.
She was like, that was powerful. And she was just like, well, now you know. Now, she was like, get to work. That's what she said. I was like, because, probably a lot of stuff they said is probably stuff she been saying, probably, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, she was just like, that was so powerful. And she was like, she was saying like my Nana, like hearing her, and then
And did your mom feel like that was really them?
Yeah, because she was like, each
good.
one was different, and she was just like, yeah, like, you know, your brother, like that sounded like him, and then with, you know, grandmom and your nana, she was like, it was like your voice, but you could tell they was all.
It was
like
their personality.
It was
Yeah.
like 3 different people.
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
love talking to your family, and I told you this before. When your brother came through, it was emotional for me because his story, it really resonated when it comes to like the male men having mental illness, and
sure.
and I just love the fact that he confirmed that he's still learning on the other side.
Yeah,
Yes.
So it was, man, I can't even thank you enough because it was just a
Yeah,
beautiful
thank you.
experience, not just for you, but it
Yeah.
also affects
Yeah.
Keisha and I in a powerful way.
Wow.
Because it just reassures us that we're on the right path and we're
Yeah,
doing
man,
the
y'all
right thing.
doing it. I keep telling y'all,
Yeah.
like, I'm forever indebted. Like,
Oh,
y'all,
thank you,
y'all,
thank
y'all
you.
keep on doing it. Like,
Yeah.
anything I could do to help, like, I definitely will. I let everybody know. Like, I be like, oh, well, these are who I want to call Keisha and Janine, but they never do though. Like, that's why I'm like,
Because
yo,
they're not
not
ready.
ready.
They're
They're
not
not
ready.
Like, but I'm like, yo, like, hit them up. Here's the information, all of that. I think they could be of help to you. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
And I want to emphasize everyone. So in this journey of life, you know, we have this line, it's never too late to rewrite your story. In all honesty, truth be told, conversations, it's not, once you're ready to reset the button, it's a process. And in order for you to get through it, you need to find help. It's like going to a therapist. We are here for you. And so now with Erikka and her journey, there's a maintenance phase that she's in. And everyone, after they come to us, what happened was we were having some ordeals where we were learning that people would start having relapses. They started going back to the way they were before the QRT.
yeah.
So then we developed our soul circle that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And that's the maintenance phase because you need repetitive stuff over and over again. Remind your brain. Your brain is an organ on its own. It's a muscle on its own. And it's an ego on its own.
Yeah.
And the ego sometimes tell you, girl, you didn't need that QRT.
Right, yeah.
Girl, they done wasted your money
they be
and
like-
time.
they be-
You don't need that.
But you know what it is like, I like to really compare it to the Matrix, like y'all the oracles. Like, it's like Neo before the oracle, because when he went to the oracle, Neo was like, man, like, what's she talking about? Like, I'm not the one. Like, what you talking about? And she like, yeah, you're not. And he's like, okay, yeah, I knew that. Like, you know what I mean? But then as soon as he like started really walking in it himself, it was like, nah, like I am the one for real.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like I'm stopping bullets
You
now.
are
It's
the
like,
one. Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's we like to call ourselves living guides because we
Yes.
like to help people, obviously, in understanding your to-do list.
Yes.
And understanding what their soul purpose is and how you can make your life a little bit happier.
Raising their vibrations.
And raising
Oh
your
my God.
vibrations.
It's so important.
And for everybody that wants to learn a little bit more about these concepts, make sure you join us on the Soul Circle at Janine and Keisha, Twin Flames, Janine and Keisha on Patreon. You can look us up, and we're teaching everybody about these things. We delve into quantum restoration. We're talking about, we even do positive affirmations weekly. And teaching people about how they can maintain their vibration. So it's
and get through this life. This life is not easy.
Yeah.
Because what we always say, life be life.
life be life. Indeed.
and it's good to reach out because you can't do it by yourself. That's kind of like what I learned.
And
Like,
that's
you
why we
can't do
created-
it by yourself. Like,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
I'm used to sort of being able to like do things by myself and figure it out, but it was much easier and faster when I reached out to y'all.
Yeah.
And you quantum leap.
You quantum
Yeah,
leap.
I quantum leap. Yeah,
You sure
Love
did.
it.
Quantum leap.
sure
So you would say
did.
you finally got the clarity that you needed at the
Yeah,
end of it all.
no, for sure. And more is coming, to be honest with you.
And I need to emphasize, I've told my kids this, from now until you pass away, you will always have obstacles.
Yeah, and we still have obstacles.
Yeah,
we don't
always.
admit that we're perfect. Keisha and
Yeah,
I,
no,
we're
no,
human.
no.
I'm going through shit right now.
Exactly.
Right.
But life.
Yeah, but if you join us, then those obstacles will be like being in the Matrix.
Yeah.
And you go like, well, he do
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Because you'll have
You can
clarity.
dodge, yeah.
And you'll understand why things are happening to you. But when you understand your to-do list, you stay focused on your
Yes.
to-do list, and everything else that happens around it, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
The main thing is focusing on your to-do list.
Yeah.
So when you
think about that often.
Yeah.
Like I think about what you had said about the sentence. Like the success is just the period at the end. Everything else is the sentence. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Exactly. So thank you, Erikka, for allowing us to be a part of your healing process.
Thank y'all, man.
Miss Zen E.
Y'all
Zen E in the building. Erikka, tell everybody how they can find you.
Yeah, of course, y'all need to follow Vision Rebirth on all platforms. It's really simple. Vision Rebirth on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. And then you can follow me, _real E on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. But really follow Vision Rebirth. That's really like what I'm building up right now. So yeah.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow Vision Rebirth. And you guys can check out Twin Flames on Vision Rebirth.
Yes,
couple times.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're definitely going to put your information in the description box below. But thank you, Ms. Zen E.
Thank you.
For allowing us again to be a part of your healing process. And everybody, thank you for joining us. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you know what to do.
Come on,
Stop
press
playing.
that button.
Stop
Come
playing.
on.
And anybody that needs any help when it comes to raising their vibrations, understanding their life purpose, what their to-do list is all about, make sure you reach out to us at www.uplifthealingcenters.com, where Keisha and I are giving everybody a 15-minute free consultation, so that way you can at least get a little insight on what's going on. We don't want to hold you back, so we open up the door a little bit, and then when you're ready, then you can come see us, because Keisha and I are available to you at all times. Everybody, thank you for joining us, and just remember that God is love. Love is the highest frequency, and go and find the God within you.
God bless. Mwah.